Night on a Saturday in Atlanta for game 2 of this set. Strider to Altuve to get us underway, and a 99. A lot of rain earlier today, but forecast looks all right. Altuve squares one up, sends it to deep right center field, but playable for Michael Harris, and he's there for out number 1. The plate for Kyle Wright. One down for Yuli Gurriel, who goes waving at one down low. Nothing in one.
See, they almost look like they're swinging in a swimming pool, and that's going to be the key tonight. Can they be
going? Tailed one away. Gurriel did not chase.
He hurt, but he's in position to drop it down.
And that bat goes flying as Gurriel reached out to try to make contact.
But doesn't have to move that foot much.
Comes home with a 1-2 and misses at 100 upstairs on Gurriel. Knoxville, Tennessee. 4th round pick in 2000 was canceled due to the pandemic. Still got drafted in the 4th round. And he gets Gurriel waving at one on the off-speed delivery upstairs.
Alvarez was slumped at the bottom of the dugout steps leading to the clubhouse, looking as if he was about to pass out.
Brought in Mauricio Dubon. Check swing foul. It's 0-2 on Kyle Tucker, and then Dubon
to see if they go back upstairs with a fastball. There you go.
Beat him with 100. Back-to-back strikeouts to close out. A 1-2-3 first for Spencer Strider, one of the great young. Turning into an excellent night at Truist Park. On to the 2nd, and Alex Bregman will take one for a ball against Bregman to right. Acuna. The light jog towards the warning track for out number 1.
Let's see that.
End up being a little bit late on those fastballs anytime Strider throws them as Mancini climbs in. Earlier this year, and Trey Mancini has come in to help fill that void. There's that fastball that just beats Mancini at 98.
Swing, you're only hitting mistakes. If you're short, compact, velocity's not going to kill you as much. Short to the ball and you're staying in. No fastball will bother you. But you see how he's thrown it now underneath his.
Home with a 2-2 on Mancini. That time he switches it up. Got the off speed to get the strikeout. Well, you still have a free. 8 hits in his last 12 at bats. He'll take a fastball close, but the home plate umpire and Vic Carapazza at 3rd.
So here's the downside if they ever go to the electronic strikes. If you can drop a breaking ball off the height of that fastball. And so that's why the 3 true outcomes in the game, when people want to know why is there more walks, strikeouts, and homers, is because.
There's a 2-1. Would you be in favor of something closer to like a challenge?
With the style of hitting that has been taught.
Check swing, appeal down to first. He went around, says Clint Vondrack. And that is spread here in Atlanta, as this youngster has done a fantastic job this year. Facing an excellent lineup tonight in the Astros.
If he gets the 2 strikes, you look for pitches down.
Most strikeouts on this run. Has done more than serviceable work. He's ahead of the count, 2 balls and a strike. 3rd round pick out of Maine. Will take one outside. He's in a high leverage count, 3-1. Waits for a 3-1 and puts it back to Strider. And there's one. That'll bring up Chas McCormick in the 8th spot.
Because if you want to hit too badly, you'll swing at those pitches. But if you want to pass on the baton, and Tucker.
That is very low strikeout rate. 1-2 on McCormick.
And let's just set the record straight. I know what people are thinking. It was thrown out in the street, but they have shown why they are a great organization now of players that have kind of had to deal with this issue. This is now a really, really good team that doesn't have to really deal with that.
McCormick reaches out to send it to right field, and Acuna.
He's going to have to win one, but you're going to get everybody's best. And you know, one of the things that the Astros similarity have going for them that we had is a consistent pitching staff of start. They definitely, along now with Justin Verlander, are one of the best pitching staffs in baseball, and that can cover your injuries. That can cover a lot of things in your ball club, and that's what Dusty
last November after the World Series to manage this year. on the outside corner for a strike on Myers.
The biggest challenge he was going to face. I think getting his players to believe that they can do it again, and they've been back.
To pitch, and there is a swing and a miss. Another strikeout. It's been a fantastic season for you. I'm sure there are going to be plenty of Ben Verlander tweets going on during this interview, but just give us a sense of one of the best years of your career.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I mean, I feel good. You know, I put in a lot of hard work to be here, and feel like I, was able to kind of pitch without missing a beat. To be fair, the Astros were, we are so deep.
Well, Justin, you look 25 again, and I just want to know what was it like? What did you gain? What perspective when the game was
so much time and effort too, almost taken away. At the same time, you're given such a blessing with a child, and so it was just a wonderful experience to be able to grow with. I had a no-hitter going earlier in the year and was able to kind of really mess around with Bregman and just do some things I noticed are a little bit different for me.
Altuve grounds out to start this inning. Justin,
looks like he's been really locked in since pitch number 1. We haven't really had many great swings against him. He's got incredible stuff. And, Javi, I've been able to watch visible fastball. He seems to have a knack of just throwing it and executing it up in the zone, and guys have a really hard time squaring it up. I don't know Strider as well, but, I mean, obviously the velo is elite. Love pitching duels, and this looks like this is lined up to be a fun one to watch.
I know you're going to love pitching the next 3. And been able to keep yourself kind of in the same uniform size and everything athletically. What have you learned to do different now? Whether it's
also, I noticed myself kind of going more to where you can generate some swing and miss as opposed to when I was younger. And then my routine in between, really, I focus more on mobility and kind of like you end up getting hurt. So I kind of look at it as kind of resetting the system after my starts and in between, and getting myself as locked in as I can for the next.
And they're not all the same. He hasn't stripped them all yet, right? So he's not just emptying the tank every single pitch. And so, 15 years in this league, you can't redline pitch all the time. And I would say that even about Strider.
Sure.
Right? I mean, he's not.
In the 7th, 8th inning.
And, unfortunately, a lot of people think that era might be over.
He might be.
Oh, and strike out as many people as you can, then we'll bring in the next guy to do the same thing.
Well, right now, Strider is in that mode.
Strike everybody out at the sake of every pitch. And that's going to serve him well, too.
There's another 2-2 to Tucker. A little tapper to the left side with that shift on. Strider trying to be athletic. And for the first time tonight, the Astros. Here's Bregman. And he swings at the first offering, sending it deep to right. Acuna still ranging back, and he's got it at the track. Tony Gonsolin, Justin Verlander across the way, and you. How does that sound right now?
Yeah, that's a pretty good company, I'd say.
Coming back, you had missed a few games and missed a start with the arm fatigue. How did you feel? You looked very sharp yesterday.
Yeah, I felt great. I made the smart decision to not push it yet, and hopefully recover good this week and be back to full go. But felt way better.
World Series was here, Game 4. You're thrust into an impossible situation, and tell me that.
I felt super comfortable in that moment. I think just because I put in a lot of good work to get to where I wanted to be mechanically, and
think you do well versus what information tells you.
Yeah, I think that was the biggest part of me, to get back to what I did well, and that was when I got an option and I said I'm not using my best. So kind of hit the reset button and went back, looked at some old video from college and early pro ball, and throwing them in any count, and yeah, so that's kind of been the big thing for me.
You going to steal this guy's slider at any point? Possible stage to pitch the way he did. That is very impressive.
No, it is, and again, everybody wants instant, and it's just so unfair to put that kind of expectation on people. And look, Kyle Wright has, and I've said it for Strider's fastball. He doesn't need Strider's fastball,
sure.
Just like Strider doesn't have his curveball or Charlie Morton's curveball. And what makes own part of the plate, own something when you're on the mound. And that's the beauty of why nobody's ever,
especially in sports, especially with athletes developing. In the air to right, Pena well struck, back to the track goes Acuna to the wall, and it is gone. Finally, a team strikes. It's the Astros first in the 5th, and it's Pena with his 16th career runs. All of them have been on the fastball, and a lot of them have kind of played out like that. He generates the power, and you. Tungsten Armo Doyle and the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim this year. That has been a dubious note. 2-0-2 Chas McCormick is fouled back. Down to the field and Ken Rosenthal.
Well, Jose Altuve above A-ball entering this season. The good news is with Pena, despite the error tonight, he remains one of the top-rated defensive shortstops.
Run to right to get Houston on the board. 3-2 on McCormick.
I mean, when you're facing this kind of horsepower out of Strider, so if a pitcher's on, he's going to have his way. If he's not, the hitters are going to have their way.
And Strider loses McCormick here. He got behind early in the count, worked back. Here's Myers, the 9-hitter. Both teams have gone to 6-man rotations at various points. 2-0 to Myers. And it's high, 3-0.
He's gotten out of rhythm.
Myers just takes 4 pitches. He has a second
Hitters in the league.
First one to Altuve, and sure enough, went with the slider, and Altuve went.
Reset the clock for him.
Good stop sliding by Contreras. Count even to Altuve. This guy down the left field line. Will get out of play foul.
He has such whip when he pitches.
Since late May. Trying to get out of a jam. And he does by fanning Altuve. Yuli Gurriel leads off the Houston 6th against Spencer Strider. Both teams with a run. Solo shot in the top. And Vaughn Grissom a solo shot in the bottom of the 5th inning. 1-1 on Gurriel, who has struck out twice swinging on the slider from Strider.
Man, he's second best hitting with 2 strikes and doesn't do that a lot.
Yeah.
So he's not picking up the ball out of Strider's hand with that breaking ball.
1-2. Gurriel connects left center field, but playable for Grossman. He's over for out number 1.
To go way up there to rob that home run.
Kyle Tucker fouls one at the plate.
Can I just say, and I know every ballpark.
And take one back.
For sure.
It's one of the most dramatic plays in sports.
Now you got 2 clubs and 2 fields that are annexed in handstand point. You don't want them reaching over and touching a foul ball. But robbing a home run is as good as it gets.
Betts has done that. I mean, 2 years ago, you were there in Texas for
Bellinger.
Cody Bellinger against the Padres. One of the great playoff.
When I did it.
2-2 pitch, and Tucker lifts one into right. Acuna towards the gap, racing over, and he's there for out number 2. Back and then make a play for it. Run back to the wall and try to make the play for it.
One of my favorite baseball cards. The uniqueness of our stadiums. I just wish we had more fences that were
conducive to it.
Conducive to rock.
He probably saved a couple of home runs for you too.
He sure did.
2 balls and a strike on case. I saw with Mike Trout when he became a father and went off on a ridiculous streak. That's what Alex Bregman's August has been like as he knocks another single. This one with 2 outs.
Turns with his mind fresh the next day. I ran this by Bregman before the game. He said that is absolutely the case. And it's not that he's.
Baker was out with COVID a couple of weeks back. Zach Levine, I work in Chicago. He's a player for the Chicago Bulls. Be where your feet are. 0-2 pitch to Mancini. No swing. 1-2 the count.
You can see me.
Hand-eye coordination. See if he can pick it up. A 1-2.
See, he didn't make that pitch. So now that's a waste pitch.
We're reaching the 100-pitch plus mark. 2-2 delivery on the way. And he gets Mancini. Another strikeout. His